1 2 sound check. Okay. We have the great pleasure to be with the Ruts DC tonight. John Segs Jennings on bass.
That's me. Hello, Radio 666 and everybody else.
We've got Dave Ruffy on drums.
Hello, people. How are you?
And Lig Hegarty on guitars.
Hello, everybody. Hello from Lee here.
You've been dubbed, John and Dave, the English Sly and Robbie. Yeah. And when did you decide to incorporate elements of dub reggae in your music back in the days, Segs?
It kind of happened naturally, really, because we used to do a lot of shows with a band called Misty and Roots. But Ruffy and I had listened to reggae since its inception, really, growing up with it, and you just hear it. And then we played with a band called Misty and Roots that played on the back of a flatbed lorry, and just learnt to play the bass, really, and leave the holes on the drums, and we just used to jam about. And then we sort of used to do that, and then something like Jar War would come out, and Malcolm would just sit on it and write the lyrics. So very, very naturally.
Dave, you were working in a record shop.
That's right. Yeah. Before I did music for a living, I worked in a record shop where I met Segsy.
Is it the way you met Segs?
Yeah, he was one of my customers. Yeah.
What kind of music were you listening to before the punk era?
Before the punk era, well, everything that was good, and it was the same. We were listening then to probably some. A lot of 60s stuff, a lot of new stuff, some good funk stuff, lots of good reggae stuff, and roots music, really roots music.
Lots of funk, but also like funk, but like James Brown or like Parliament and stuff like. We were both into Parliament because they were kind of wacky and kind of anti-establishment. And the reggae, just because it had always, my sister was a bit older than me, so I always had like Prince Buster records and stuff like that, just to listen to that stuff. And thank you, R.I.P. Prince Buster. So we just had similar minds, but I mean, everything from Black Sabbath to Deep Purple to and beyond, Hawkwind, everything that came out, And then the story is old now, but I walked into the shop one day. And he had a Ramones T-shirt on that he'd made himself, and I went, "What's that?" And he went, "Listen," and put on the first Ramones album. We both went, and really, everything else got thrown away, metaphorically, and we continued. Yeah.
The exciting news is that you've got new stuff. You have got a new album, Music Must Destroy. We heard 2 tracks before the album, Psychic Attack and Music Must Destroy. Lig, did you write the material with, are you a full-time member? Did you write the material with Segs and Ruffy?
Yes, we all worked on the songs. Some of the songs we worked together in a rehearsal room, came out of jams or with riffs that people had. Other songs Segs had ideas for, which he brought in, but we all kind of worked on them together. I think I can speak for all of us when I say we're all very pleased with the results.
Some of them, I mean, a lot of them were more acoustic based. They don't sound acoustic now, except for one of them. But just sitting around and singing, traditionally sort of writing songs like that. Lee would come round or Ruffy would come round, and just very, very natural, very, very natural.
Yeah, we took a long time making this record. We knew that we wanted to make a new rock record, and there was going to be some reggae in it when we first started out, but we felt that the 10 songs that we chose worked very well together, so we used those. And also, you say new material because none of us are interested in just being a nostalgic group. There's no point, You might as well, if I want to do that, I can go and play weddings and make better money than this. You know what I mean? So, no, but you have to move on, and you have to. So as Lee said, we are very, very happy with the record. We worked very, very hard on it, and we think we've got it there. So.
Yeah. It's good, and there's more to come. I think we've got some that didn't make the album just purely because we didn't feel it was right. And I think we'd really like to do a dub version of the album, like we've always wanted to.
Yeah.
And then I'd like to do Rhythm Collision 3, and then a couple more singles. So we've got loads. We're ready to go.
That's good news. Rhythm Collisions 3. Okay. Can you please talk to us about the guests on the album, Ruffy?
Yeah, okay. Guests on the album, yeah. Well, as you know, the old Ruts were Paul Fox, Malcolm, Seggs and myself. Yeah. So they're constantly with us, So when we're doing new material, it's very much like we realise what our heritage is, and we're very proud of our heritage, but we know that we can't put anything less than good, So it's kind of like they're there. So I don't know. It's funny. Paul Fox had connections with all the guitarists that were on it. Like Captain, we did a lot of work with the Damned back in the day. Marco Peroni's on a bit of it, and he knows him from back in like 1977, 78 when we were rehearsing. Marco's been in a band called the Models, and we used to rehearse in it was a factory.
It was before the Adam and the Ants.
Yeah. Before Adam and the Ants, and in fact, Paul Fox I think went to the band one day, and said, showed them the concept of tuning the guitars with the same thing. So it was kind of really nice to have that,
I think they said F off Grandad.
Yeah, fuck off, Grandad. That's what they said, yeah. Even then, and he was probably 22 or something.
Yeah. And connections with Lee as well, of course. And then the other people, Henry's a connection, obviously, because we did that.
Henry Rollins?
Yeah, we did a gig with him in 2007. And I never thought I'd hear myself say this, but he's our friend. Thank God. And then Ruffy and I did a Dead Men Walking tour with Jake Burns from Stiff Little Fingers and Kirk Brandon from Spirit of Destiny and Theatre of Hate. We did Kill the Pain, which was one of the songs, and we were doing it sort of acoustically. And they sang on it, so we asked them to sing on the record. So it's been very. And
we got used to hearing their voices, and just to talk a bit more about with their band, it's a lot of what we call the serendipity, So like Lee knew Paul Fox quite well. In fact, when we did the last gig in 2007 with Paul, which we got together to do one show with Henry. Lee, because Paul was too sick to come to rehearsal, so Lee came, and Lee knows he's what we might call a guitar nerd, So he knows every detail. If we want to look at any Ruts, no, I mean it in a nice way.
He's smiling.
I like that.
So if we want to look at any old Ruts material, Lee knows it inside out. So it's very handy.
Than I do.
All of this is true. All of this is true.
Lee, how would you rate Paul Fox as a guitarist in the English pantheon of guitarists?
Oh wow, that's quite a question. I think I saw Paul play more times than the only guitarist I've seen play more than Paul is Wilco Johnson, and I don't necessarily think Paul was better or worse than Wilco or whatever. You can't. I don't think that thing of league tables is a good thing with music. I think we all play what we play when we're playing it, and good players play according to the situation they're in at the time. And Paul, Paul was always a great guitar player. He always had a fantastic sound. When I first saw the Ruts play, because I was originally a fan of the band. Yeah. When I first saw them play, I was struck by, as a guitarist, I was just struck by the sound. It was a mighty guitar sound. I mean, the band were quite something all round, but the guitar was obviously as somebody was learning. And I'm a very shy person, as my colleagues will tell you here. And at a gig, well, maybe not. Well, I'm allowed to talk tonight. This is all the interviews I don't talk in. I'm going to talk tonight. I was going to say, as a shy person and as a schoolboy, I sort of staggered up to Paul at a Ruts gig and sort of went, "Excuse me, Paul, could you tell me what guitar effects you use, please, Paul? I really like your guitar sound, Paul." And he sort of went, and of course he'd forgotten what he used or didn't know the name of them, because people don't. You don't. When someone surprises you at a gig, you're not ready to tell somebody what you use. But that was the first conversation I had with him. It was at a Ruts show.
He was a real rock and roller, Paul. I mean, innovative is a word, because he didn't really play like anybody else, and then forgot what he played. So we were doing like something I said, and we were trying to work it out when we came back, and Lee said, "Well, he showed me it was this," and I said, "Well, that doesn't sound right." And he'd actually showed him the wrong chords because he couldn't remember, because innovative, And we had a recent talking about Paul, because he's always there with us, and we had a bit where we went down. They recut the Crack, the album, the Crack, and me and Ruffy went down to the cut, and we're listening, but we'd not listened to the Crack for 20 years, like, 30 years all the way through. You don't listen to your old album from start to finish. And then, we listened to it and we were stunned by by our playing actually as well, but stunned by his playing, just like, whoa. And I think that, all in truth, I think it went to inspire this album. To be honest, I think, thinking about it, listening to the crack.
It had a big effect on it, We were really, as I said before, we're very conscious about making it good. You can't do anything half-assed. So we've all worked really hard on this record, and I think it shows in the sound. And we didn't want it to just be a recording. We wanted it to be a great. I mean, when we reformed like Ruts DC this time, we have a very high respect for quality. So whether it's a video or a book or a record, it has to be the best we can possibly do in the situation, because otherwise there's no point, because now you're not going to sell millions of lots and lots of records, so you're looking at it really like almost like a piece of art. You're looking at it like an art, like you're trying to make the best thing you can just for yourself, and hopefully hope other people will like it as well.
You were talking. Sorry, Segs?
No, I just think that's a good premise on life. It's a good way to go through life, isn't it? Do the best you can, and we're all only answerable to ourselves, really. So do the best you can, and hopefully that will inspire other people.
You were talking about the video, the making of the video of Music Must Destroy. It was a bit dusty in this area.
Yeah,
was it a little bit
dusty?
Dusty.
Where the drone went.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, in fact, we shot our parts in an old factory in South Lane, Peckham in South London. I think it was a cement factory, and there was dust on the floor. And we had a couple of drones with the cameras on, and I had a really bad eye infection, which I've just got rid of, kind of just going now. I've had it for weeks. And when the drones come up, it was totally very toxic.
It was pure Laurel and Hardy, really, because we were there. We go, okay, we're going to do some drone shots, and it goes up. And of course, as the drone's going up, imagine there's people that all the dust from the floor came up. So the next minute we all come, we look like the fields of Nephilim, unfortunately, Ruffy got in Ruffy's eye, and it got all over the guitars in the.
Yeah, and I ended up. I had a nosebleed when I got home for an hour, and the next morning I was like, fuck that. I still can't hear properly. I think, I don't know. I'm very. It was great, wasn't it? The end result is we're so pleased with the end result.
This is a great video.
Thank you.
And you had to adjust. You had to sing Segs because when Malcolm died, you have to sing the songs.
Yeah.
Was it difficult to?
Yes, horrible.
And play bass at the same time?
The first thing, the Ruts DC back then, this is why it's so important. Sorry, lads, I've got to just put this straight. But, when we all wanted to carry on, me, Foxy and Ruffy, because we all loved each other, basically. And we said, well, what are we going to do? Well, we didn't want to go with any other band. We loved playing with each other, so we decided to write some songs. Bit of a crossover period there. I kind of got forced into singing because they said I was the best singer. But on the first album, like Paul sang some and Ruffy sang some. We went out on tour. That was quite difficult for me because I found it really hard, actually. Kind of got a bit depressed and sort of came out of that end of things. And then in the end, we sort of we just parted ways because we all want to do different things. This, however, as Ruffy always says, is like we're not reforming the Ruts, we're forming Ruts DC. Sadly, Foxy's not there, but luckily we have Lee, and we're coming from a different point of view. Now, I'm totally up for it, totally up for singing, totally up for writing, and maybe it took 60 years to get to that place, because I didn't, these guys talked me into it, really. When we went out doing some shows, they'd go, just do the songs we want to do, and they go, oh, I like that song Mirror Smash. Like, I'm never going to do it. I'm never going to do it. I hate that song. But now we do it, or we're not going to do it tonight, but we do it, and I think we've reclaimed some of the songs, and I kind of think they weren't that bad. I thought they were awful, at the time.
Well, no, I think if I can just put my bit in as well. What happened was, because we decided to carry on before Malcolm died, so we'd written a lot of the songs on Animal Now already. And so it was okay. We were going to sing. He was going to sing. It's fine. But of course, and then Malcolm died, and we kept. So we'd already started the songs, and so what happened was that he got compared to Malcolm. He was never trying to be Malcolm. He was never. So, and then it was, because there's no point trying to be anybody else. You can only be yourself. So that was the downfall, because when we started writing the songs, and then the position changed, and of course when you have success, people just want you to be the same, even if you're doing an alternative message. They don't want you to change because you're part of their demographic, their history, their soundtrack for their life. And so, you're changing. Well, we've always never really cared. You have to change because you want to carry on. And this record we've kind of done. I'm so proud of Seggs with his vocals now. I think he's done a lot of soul searching, and lyrically, our songs are up there with anyone today. And they've still got the same message that we've had, because nothing's really changed that much,
Unfortunately, even the old songs, the lyrics stand the test of the time, because here the racism is rampant in France and other countries in Europe.
I know. We've got one called. I'm not going to say it actually. We had to shut myself up.
Listen, we're suffering from post-Brexit blues, So what the fuck was that? I don't know.
We hate not being European anymore.
We like the European.
I mean, someone told us we're not European. Well,
I'm a European. We're one nation we're one race. And one people, and I mean that's it. People unite. That's really.
Yeah, people unite. Moi, je parle français parce que j'ai habité à Paris pendant 4 ans.
He's telling rude words about you.
Yeah, très fier. Yeah. Très fier de ça. But it's not his fault. I'm joking.
What rude man?
I said I was going to talk behind your back.
Nice French talking. Tu parles très bien français, Seggs. Dernière question, last question. Your fans help you through pledge to issue the album. 2 days ago, you did post a video talking about it.
But it's strange because what we've done with this record, we since we reformed, we've made 2 records. We did Rhythm Collision Volume 2, and then we did a live album, Ruts DC, because we wanted to kind of mark where we were at as a group at that point. And then we drew a line under that, and then we started to think about this record. So we decided that we have our own label, Sasumi, and it's okay, it's very nice having control, but we realised we do some foreign trips, sometimes to France or Italy, and we go, and nobody knows you have a record out. So we decided on this record, we've licensed it to a new company called Westworld. They also have The Damned and Congen, quite a few punk. We don't really see ourselves as a band, but obviously our heritage is tied up very much with punk. So we decided to go with them, and it's working very well. So what happened was they offered us a very small amount of money to make a record, and the guy, Steve Beattie, his name, he's a good guy. I can make a record. And I said, well, so can I, but it'll be shit. I don't want to make a shit record. I want to make a great record. So we went. What we did, we put a book out a couple of years ago, and we did a pledge campaign to raise money to press the book called Love in Vain: Story of Ruts and Ruts DC. So we thought we'd go for it again, and it's good. And the thing with the pledging is that because these people, they pay money in advance, and originally the album was supposed to come out last May, but we wasn't ready. I said, well, we can't put it out. We must make it so we're happy with it, and it's good. And the thing is, when people give you money before, there's more incentive to. You can't mess around. You can't. You're gonna. I mean, I wouldn't want to mess around anyway. But it makes you a bigger responsibility to make something really special. I think so. It's a wonderful thing, and the strange thing is that in music now, the most people who are into music, most of them actually like music, whereas in the old days, it was seen perhaps as a business and blah blah blah. But now, there's maybe a lot of money to me, but there's a lot of some messages. It's art now. It is truly art.
Because there's really not. It's not a great way to make money. I mean, if you look at it business wise, you just go.
So forget that, why are you keeping on doing this?
Art. You just said art. I mean, I think at the time I never really considered myself to be an artist at all, or none of us. We were kind of punk band, but I've understood, I think partly through living in France, was what art is, it's just creating because you have to, really. I think that's what it is. We didn't go like we should make a few bob, let's make a few let's write an album. No, it's like we got to write an album because otherwise we can't go forward as a band, So, no, the other day we did we did a launch gig and we did all 10 songs from the album and 10 old ones. hour and 50 set. You know, that's what we're doing tonight. We're
how
playing an
did-
hour, but we still do 5 new songs. You know, because if we don't do new songs, we're dead. You know.
And what was the reaction of the audience with the new stuff?
I hated it. No, it was, it was great. It was fantastic because you hear the new songs. When you, I mean, well, there's one called Golden Boy, which is probably based on Malcolm, very acoustic and it's good. But there's other ones that are real rockers. You know, give me something to kill Le Pen.
Thank you very much, Sex and Ruffy. Lig, so this is a power trio. You're the guitar hero of the band now.
Oh, I've never considered myself a hero, but that's very kind of you to say that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We were with the
Thanks for having
with the
us.
Ruts DC.
Great.
Merci.